time in Hull and the starting point for the 550-mile Charringtons Historic Rally, Britain's toughest classic car event. For the first time ever, these pre-1966 rally cars were to be let loose in the Yorkshire forests, famed for having the fastest tracks in Britain. Stars of yesteryear were in abundance. It'll be interesting to see if the cars and their drivers would stand up to it. In the TR4, what memories does that bring back?
Well, the last one I drove was in 1963 or 1964, I think, when we drove it to Yugoslavia and back to the Triumph team. So it will bring back memories, I think.
How does it feel?
Well, I've only driven it from the car park to here, so I haven't really had a chance to see who's boss with it yet, but give us 3 days, we'll be all right.
Bjorn, you're an active competitor. What are you doing in a historic rally?
They say it's so funny, so why not try it? And at my age, it should be the sport I should do, isn't it?
This is your next career, is it?
You never know, and it's fantastic to sit in the old Porsche again.
A lumbering Ford Zephyr was on parade among the sleek Porsches, which to many looked like brand new models.
Don't you think it'll blow them off?
It must be quite a handful.
It's quite big.
And the trees get a bit close.
I like it though, I like it. It's just a nice car.
Is this the end of Tiffany Dell, the racing driver?
No, we still prefer going round and round in circles. These trees are a bit too close to the trackside for my liking.
Classic rallying is the fastest growing branch of motorsport at the moment. What started out a few years ago as a bit of fun is now becoming quite serious stuff. Although the cars must be pre-1966, the crews can be of any vintage, and modern-day enthusiasts can mix and mingle with their heroes, many sitting alongside them if they have a suitable car for the occasion.
Well, the first of the minis coming up. If you want 2, 1, go! There we are, Tiffany Dell from BBC Top Gear. Give him a cheer. We might never see him again, if we're lucky.
Last year's winner, Jerry Larson from Sweden, headed the convoy on the quick, smooth stages in North Yorkshire. For Roger Clark, though, they were anything but smooth. The TR4's low suspension making it clatter along like a toboggan.
Bumps coming.
And it was far removed from the tarmac of the Nürburgring for our man Tiff and co-driver Ian Bond.
They weren't on the original notes, were they?
Fast right. Fast right.
The big Healy was always a handful in its heyday, and still is.
Junction, open hairpin left. Hairpin left.
And this is what is known in the trade as ditch hooking. 1984 World Rally champion Stig Blomqvist, chauffeuring the car's owner, Dr. Beattie Crawford from America, was a little more circumspect. Roger Clark was still ploughing on, and to add to his troubles, his horn was dropping off.
And junction.
Fast left.
These logs. Bother these logs. And
John Haugland from Norway made his name driving Skodas in World Championship rallies. Tiff was getting the hang of mini-motoring, but doing a lot of shouting into the bargain.
where's my left foot? I missed my left foot braking.
Tony Dron in the big Ford was happily playing the role of mobile chicane to the Porsches, which seemed to be everywhere you looked and starting to dominate the event. From the RAF, Harrison Prowse piloting their Lotus Cortina. But this was the last competitive sighting of Norman Grimshaw and John Clegg, who ended up perched on top of a rock. In the 60s, Porsches dominated European rallying. But then again, so did the Mini Cooper, although this particular one would have to do better than this to win this rally.
90 left. Left. 90 left. What are you doing?
I was looking at those arrows.
The TR4s were never really at home in British forests, but in classic rallies, who cares? Everyone's here to have fun, albeit serious fun. The boys from the RAF appeared to be on a secret night mission. Everyone else had their headlights on.
Next, come on!
Left. Easy left.
Next, I've got to have the next one sooner!
Rallying is meant to be a team effort.
Junction, hairpin right. Junction.
But the poor old navigator
Hairpin right.
seems to take all the flack from these glamorous driving types. Of course, they're always perfect. For Roger Clark's TR4, the Yorkshire forests were proving a bit too much. He retired at the end of the night with a whole sump. Back in the forests, the pressure was on, with assorted Porsches blowing everyone off,
90 right.
including our glamorous racing driver. Notice the navigator is the epitome of politeness and says nothing. But of course, there's always an excuse.
So it's just the handbrake button I got. I pulled the handbrake up, which has been working well, got the button stuck in, and then we slewed sideways.
Correct.
Okay?
At the end of the first day, there was time for quick service at Beverley before cars and crews were locked away for the night back in Hull, and a time to reflect on the day's performance.
Well, the car's going very well. The driver's crap, but the car's going very well.
What do you think of these stages?
They're very interesting, but made the wrong choice of tyres. They're a bit too light on the rubber, but very, very nice, very nice. Not at all boring.
Norman, we hear you've had problems.
Yeah, we fell off in a ditch on the last stage. We were in there for about an hour, so we're OTL at the moment.
What, you mean you're out of the event?
We're not sure, are we?
No, I think we're allowed to play.
I think we're allowed to play tomorrow, which we will do, of course.
So you didn't do much damage then?
No, it was just wedged on the sump shield and the chassis. We just couldn't get it out.
And what do you put that down to? Over-exuberance?
Complete stupidity on behalf of the driver.
Dawn saw a few unexpected hazards that had to be removed, but after a short night's sleep, the cars were reseeded in their positions in the rally, and guess which ones were dominating the leaderboard. In the 60s, Scandinavians were everywhere in rallying, and it was the same here. Bo Warmenius in his Lotus Cortina was highest non-Porsche, ahead of Tiffany Dell's Mini. Michael Preising from Germany was content just to trundle along in the most ungainly car in the event, a 1959 Opel Olympia. From further afield, two Japanese gentlemen whose near-kamikaze antics had them travelling on the very edge. Scarborough is more used to motorbike racing. A narrow 4.4-mile circuit makes overtaking difficult, but there wasn't too much of that as the cars set off at 15-second intervals. Nevertheless, everyone was enjoying this first smooth stage, and even Roger Clark came out to play in his low-line TR4. Competitors tackled this stage twice, attempting 2 laps each time. The Volvo P544 was always notoriously tail-happy, and this one bore the odd battle scars to prove it. But rally drivers aren't meant to play around on tarmac too long, so it was back to the woods and the most fabulous rally noise of all, a big Healy in full cry. A And another distinctive sound, its smaller stablemate, the MGB. Last year's winner Larson was languishing in third place in the gaggle of 911s, which was headed by Åke Andersson in number 7. Well, we're getting towards the end of the second day and the end of the Yorkshire stages, and nobody can do anything about all these Porsches. In fact, some people are saying it's rather boring. Are you going to do anything about all these Porsches, Tiff?
No, we've forgotten the Porsches, so it's just those Cortinas. We're getting a bit serious about trying to catch the Cortinas and being the first non-Porsche.
Well, we've spent the day working our little whatnots off and getting absolutely nowhere against these porkies.
Are you you're in a sort of separate race, really? This is a non-Porsche division, is it?
Oh, there's some very nice rallying going on outside of all the Porsches. We're having a great time. And unfortunately, another Swede is knocking spots off us in a Lotus Cortina.
Are you going to slow down tomorrow, then, so we can catch you up? You're going to give us a chance.
I just go faster and faster and faster.
Well, if you keep going faster, hopefully you will crash soon.
No, no. Faster and safer, all the time. When I crash, it's always in the beginning of a rally.
Kitani, what happened?
Oh, last stage, Horace driving. I enjoy driving very fast, but here is goes out rollings.
Rolling. How many times did you go over?
But one loads and roof sliding.
Oh, sliding on the roof. The place where you have the crash is very famous, where Hanno Mikkola, he once crashed in the same place. Really? Yes. So you're in good company. So, an eventful and hilarious day for our Japanese friends, who next morning set forth to the land of the rising sun, Scunthorpe. If you thought the forests were a bit tough on the old cars, look at this little lot. This is the huge British steelworks at Scunthorpe. It covers 1,700 acres, produces 30% of the country's steel, and there are 39 miles of private tracks, and boy, are they rough. No prizes for guessing the make of leading cars on the Sunday morning, day 3. Again, the first non-911, Bo Warmenius in his Lotus, going faster and faster. And also going better and better was the intrepid duo in the Mini. Tiff now had Bo in his sights. He'd already got ahead of the other Lotus Cortina of ex-European racing champion John Hanley and Tony Moy.
Next! What's that?
Easy right, right.
Although the Top Gear Mini had been going well, as it neared the end of the stage, something sounded not quite right. It would have to be all hands on deck to keep it in the rally. Cadwell Park in Lincolnshire provided a pursuit sprint, but it was touch and go if Tiff would make it.
Not in gear.
With the engine in bits and time running out, things didn't look too good. What was at first thought to be a broken clutch turned out to be more serious, a broken crankshaft. For Åke Andersson and Lars Torell, things couldn't have gone better. They led from the start and won the Charringtons in fine style. Following them onto the ramp, you've guessed it, another 6 of the dreaded Porsches.
Next week in Top Gear, the ultimate Mercedes Coupe, the grandfather who plays dominoes with cars, and the British Rally Championship goes to Killer Kilda.